Okay, guys, so here's review topics number 2. So it's that same PDF. You can see this is where we finished last time, but here's like number 2 now. All right, so we're just going to do a few of these. First one says prove that x equals negative 3x minus 2 has no solution. So they're telling you it has no solution, so you need to prove that that's true. All right, so we're all good at these questions, right? Radical equations. So let's go ahead and isolate the radical, which we can tell that the radical already is isolated. And then we're going to square both sides. So let's square both sides. So I'm left with x squared equals negative 3x minus 2. It's a quadratic equation, so we want to set it equal to 0. So I'll move over my 3x, I'll move over my 3x, I'll move over my 2, yikes, and I'll move over my 2. Oh my goodness, this is not working well. Okay, so what am I left with here? So I'm left with x squared minus 3 plus 3x plus 2 equals 0. Let's go ahead and factor. And we're left with x plus 2, x plus 1. We get x is negative 2, and x is negative 1. Okay, so we're proving that it has no solution. So that means if I do my checks, that both of those checks should work out to not work. All right, so let's see. So let's plug in the first one. Let's plug in negative 2 back into the original. So negative 2 equals the square root of negative 3 times negative 2 minus 2. So negative 2 equals the square root of 4. Negative 2 equals, remember now this is just the square root of 4, so this is the principal square root, so the answer is just 2. So those do not equal each other. So therefore we can see that negative 2, I don't know why this is so not working well. Gosh. What the heck? Let me just see what's going on here. Okay, so that one's no good. Maybe I just wasn't writing good. Okay, and then let's take negative 1 and plug it back in. So negative 1 equals the square root of negative 3 times negative 1 minus 2. Negative 1 equals the square root of 1. Negative 1 equals, and again, this is the principal square root, right? Square root of 1 is 1. So this is not a true sentence. So therefore, all of this work is proving that it has no solution. All right, so that one will be done. All right, number 10. So let's go back to all these guys. Remember these? These are the thumb questions, as I used to call them. I did put a little fix in there, okay? So that is supposed to be, and I put that on your document as well. So that's supposed to be negative 2/3 power. All right, here we go. So we're going to write each as a single term with a rational exponent, so a fractional exponent. So these guys are thumb right here. So remember, this is going to become x to the 1/3 times x to the 5/4. Don't know why this is doing this to me today. When we multiply, we add the powers. So you're just going to add 1/3 and 5/4 in your calculator, and you get 19/12. And there we go. Next one. So 1 over x to the 4th. Remember upstairs, downstairs? So we can move that 4 to upstairs by just changing its sign. And then this is thumb again. So x to the 2/3. And same deal. When we multiply, we add. So add negative 4 and 2/3 in your calculator. And you get negative 10/3. All right, thumb on top. So we got x to the 7/3 divided by ppm on the bottom. Power to a power means multiply. So x to the 5/3. And now this is division. So when we divide, we subtract the exponents. So this will be x to the 2/3. All right, and then that last one, I asked you guys to change it to negative 2/3. Let me make a little more room. Okay, so I'm going to give everybody, well, first, remember the rule, a fraction to a negative is its reciprocal. This is driving me crazy. It's reciprocal to the positive. So everybody's going to get that 2/3 power, which essentially means, now you're doing thumb again, just the other way. So the cubed root of 27 squared over, can you guys hear that wind? It's crazy. The cubed root of 64 squared. Okay, let me make a little more room. All right, we're not doing this question anyway because it's statistics, and I did not get to teach you that unit yet. We'll leave that mark going through, though. But I'm going to use this space right here. So the cube root of 27, we'll do that part first, which is 3. So 3 squared. Cube root of 64 is 4, so 4 squared. So 9/16 would be my answer on that guy. Okay, and then again, 11 is no good because I didn't teach you statistics yet. That'll be our last unit. Oh gosh, oh, there we are. Okay, and then 12 we're gonna skip, and let's do this important one. So remember this, the focus, the directrix. Remember when I had you guys stand up in the classroom and we had somebody be the directrix, and we had somebody be the focus, and then we had somebody go stand directly between them, and that was the vertex, and then we kept having people stand so that it could be the same distance between them, and it created a parabola. All right, so remember what we would say? We would say, don't panic, find vertex. Okay, so the focus, they're telling me, is 5, 2. The directrix, remember that's going to be a horizontal line, is y equals negative 6. So we're going to graph those two things to begin with. So you need to figure out where to put your axes. Don't just plop them in the middle. But if I need to graph y equals negative 6, I know that I need to move this pretty high up. And then 5, 2, it looks like I'm on the right, so I'm probably going to make my axes here. All right, so now let's go ahead and graph. All right, so negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's the directrix, right? Y equals negative 6. And the focus is 5, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. Remember how the parabola eats the food, right? So I need to go dead center between those two. So how much space is there? How much space is there between these? So let's count it. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to go a distance of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be my vertex. So the p-value is going to be 4. That's the distance between. And the coordinates of the vertex are 5, negative 2. And we can see that it's going to eat the food, so we know it's going to be a positive a value. And then we're going to plug in, remember the formula? Y equals 1/4 x minus h squared plus k. Okay, oh, y equals, there's a p in there too. Y equals 1/4 times the p-value. And remember, this is my hk. Okay, so x minus 5. Oh my God, this is so annoying. Okay, I'm just erasing that because that's so sloppy. Let's make it thicker, maybe that'll be a little better. Okay, so y equals 1/4 times 4. x minus 5 squared, and then plus k, but that's really just minus 2. So y equals 1/16 x minus 5 squared minus 2. And that would be my equation. Okay, so you guys were pretty good at that one. I taught you that. All right, and then the last thing is the y-intercept. So in order to find the y-intercept, we got to plug in x equals 0. So y equals 1/16 0 minus 5 squared minus 2. So y equals, hold on 1 second. All right, I gotta plug that in the calculator. I didn't do that yet. All right, so 1/16 times 25 minus 2. Okay, so that looks like negative 7/16. I hope that's right. Let me just double check. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Let's see what else we're going to do here. Just a little bit more. Okay, so we got another focus directrix one. All right, let's check it out. Sorry, just trying to make some room here. My iPad wasn't charged enough. Okay, so we see it again, the focus directrix stuff, right? So let's start out the same way. So we're going to do find vertex, don't panic. Yeah, I don't know what is up with this today. This is annoying me. My God. Okay. All right, so notice that our equation does not look like it's in that form, right? Solved for y. So I'm going to divide by 8, divide by 8. We get y equals, or y, sorry, y minus 6 equals, remember we can write that as 1/8 x plus 2 squared. Then we'll add 6 to both sides. So y equals 1/8 x plus 2 squared plus 6. Okay, so now I'm solved for y. I can tell the coordinates of the vertex. The coordinates of the vertex, remember it's always the opposite of what's on the inside? So it's going to be negative 2, 6. And remember this is my 4p value. So 4p equals 8. P has to be 2. And now let's go over to the graph. All right, so let's see. We have negative 2, 6. Yeah, so I think we could probably put it here and here. That would probably be good. Okay, so negative 2, 6. Oh gosh, no, that wasn't good. I gotta move it lower. Okay, so negative 2, 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does that look right? 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay, so there's my vertex. Now the p-value is 2, so 2 above and 2 below. But I don't know who the directrix is, and I don't know who the focus is. It's based on if this is positive. It is positive. So therefore, it's going to go up. And remember, the parabola always eats the food. So there's my focus. So my focus is going to be negative 2, 8. And the equation of the directrix, then, this is my directrix. And that's going to be y equals 4. Okay, so they wanted the directrix and they wanted the focus, so those are your two answers right there. Oh gosh. Oh boy. Okay. All right, let's see. So I think we got 2 left. We're going to do number 15. 15, though, I'm going to do on the calculator. So let's see. Yeah, I think we'll skip this one because it's gonna be a little bit of pain to do. So we'll skip this one and save this for another time. All right, let's do 17. This will be our last one. Okay, so 17, it says the height of the saddle of a horse above the base of the carousel can be modeled by this equation, where t represents seconds after the ride started. How much time does it take for the horse to complete one cycle? So, oh boy. What is this? This is crazy here today. Okay, so remember, one cycle, that's my period. And remember period formula? Period is 2 pi over frequency. Okay, oh my God, this is driving me crazy. Okay, frequency is the coefficient, right, of x, or in this particular case, it's t. Yeah, this should probably say t right here, not x. Okay, so period is going to be equal to 2 pi over 3 pi over 8. And then we got a little top bottom here, right? So keep the top, multiply by the reciprocal of the bottom. Pi's are gone, and I'm left with 16 thirds. So 16 thirds of a second. And you can leave it just like that. All right, then the last little bit here. What is the max and the min? Okay, so do we remember our formulas? So the formula for max is the vertical shift plus the amp, and the min is the vertical shift minus the amp. And remember, amp is always positive. So the maximum is going to be 42 plus 12. So my max is 54. And my min is going to be the vertical shift minus the amp, so 30. Okay? All right, so I hope that review was good for you guys. I just wanted to do a little bit over the break of some things that we should know. All right, enjoy the rest of the break and make sure you upload this for me. All right, bye.